Okay, so basically, hi. I really need to get the lighting in here fixed. I feel like I need to sit like this to get the light. It's a very high ceiling and terrible fluorescent lighting. I do have another light, but it's not the best thing. I need to get one of those soft lighting things with what do you call those umbrella things? You know what I mean. The light inside the umbrella that they call some sort of soft light or something like that. Yeah. I think it's soft light when it has the white pad over top of it. Anyway, I'm blathering on. So I've realised I've hit a bit of a milestone. I'm about to record the last song for the EP, soon to be released. I still have to do the cover art for the CD. Yeah, there is actually going to be a physical CD. So yeah, I want there to be something. Look, I made this. Not just look it up on Spotify. Not that it won't be released on those platforms, of course it will. Yeah, so there's 2 songs that I'm still going to record and then decide if I'll put both or just one of them on the EP. Because the EP could stretch into an album if I just put 2 more songs on it. Yeah. Anywho, it's been a journey. It really has. In 2019, I spent the whole year. It really was. It took me a year to figure out this whole recording jam. Yeah. Before I started recording this, I didn't realize I hadn't pushed record on that, and the camera's not always reliable with sound, so I've sort of just said all of this, and I don't know if it's worth me saying it again. I don't know if it's that interesting, but basically I got very frightened by the technology very early on, and it turned out what was happening was the interface I had at the time was a piece of crap. It was just a cheap piece of rubbish, and nothing proved that to me better than using a new interface. It was like, whoa, okay, yeah, that sounds good. I mean, everything was just coming through all airy and soft and just dreadful. It didn't matter whether it was an instrument or a record, a direct input, electric guitar type sound or through a microphone. It just sounded terrible, and it was the interface. But you don't know that. You just, especially when you're new, you assume it's you. It's like, oh, I'm an idiot. I must be doing this really badly. But yeah, it turns out it actually wasn't me. It was the interface. So once I became more confident with recording, well, what actually happened there was I bought a Zoom H5. I really liked the sound of this device because it has the capability you can just plug into this and record straight into this. You can even do some basic mixing and editing on the device. If you've seen my videos before, you will have seen my love of this. You can actually record straight onto this and then just drag the track across onto your computer as an MP3. And that was what I was doing for a while. Yeah, for quite some time. And I haven't deleted those recordings. I didn't fix them in a DAW afterwards. I didn't take in a digital audio workstation. I didn't take them out. They were just tracks recorded straight off the Zoom. And there's one song that will be on the EP, which I'm really I'm like this about, because I really like the recording that came straight off the Zoom. But it's not as sort of, perfect as, not to say that everything's perfect, but it doesn't have quite the same sort of crisp clarity of sound that the other songs will. But the style of song it is, the meaning in the song, the way that it, the song as a whole, it's a very emotional song. it's taken me a long time to get to a place where I'm like, yeah, I can release that. I can put that out into the world without fear. That was my main thing, was fear that someone would hear it and react. And I just thought, you know what, this is my art. This is what I do. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not accusing anybody. This is art. This is my feeling about what happened. And what has continued to happen. And I don't want to feel censored in that respect. I mean, certainly if something was ever going to hurt my children or a friend, or, you know, yeah, you don't name or try and bring people down or hurt anybody with your music, but you also can't, I don't think you should allow yourself to be gagged by fear of someone who has kept you in fear and kept you controlled and etc. for a long time. I think you need to, I mean, unless you're in danger, obviously, yeah. Financial abuse is a very real thing, let me tell you. Someone trying to control you by going, well, I just won't be paying child support or whatever. It's a very real thing. And when you realize that it actually went on for the whole 2 decades of your relationship, it's quite upsetting. But, that's why this whole album is called Moving On. And it will be an album. It's still going to, I think, I may just move on and start doing other things. But Moving On, the EP, is a collection of songs about the passage we all move through in life, and particularly at the end of relationships and with our families and how it all works out. And throughout that, there's been this journey, this coinciding journey of me learning to record myself. I've worked with three different producers / audio engineers throughout this process, and each time I tend to come back to doing it myself. It's really hard to let your baby into be in someone else's hands, just to sort of hand it over and go, yeah, sure, you take this thing that I've created and add your personal touch to it. It's like, not sure about that. But I'm fairly confident in my ability to record now. And the room is things are so different now to what they were a year ago. I've learned so much, and some of that has been through collaboration with those audio engineers and producers, and it's amazing how much people are willing to share their knowledge if they see that you are genuinely trying to learn. So this here, the green side, these are acoustic panels. The red you're seeing there, that's the velvet back. But the internal side is cotton, so that the acoustic panel inside the frame can do its absorption, can do its absorption. That was terrible English. Can do its job absorbing the sound. I can't do much about that. It's very windy today. I've got the shield on the microphone, which is a huge, big... But there's certain sounds that... it's too noisy, you can't block it out. I don't have a soundproof studio. One day, some girls dream of diamonds and dresses. Others dream of a quiet room, a silent live room. So basically, I'm about to start recording the last song, or the last 2 songs, for the EP. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly what my genre is. Every time I think I've got it, I'm like, yes, that's what it is. I go and listen to a bunch of musicians who are supposedly that genre. I'm like, it's not. It's really not that. They sound amazing. This is not what I know. I thought it was more like Carole King, and then she's actually listed as soft rock. And I was like, yeah, if you think about it, I feel the earth move under my feet. I was like, yeah, that is more pop and soft rock than folk music. And I don't know how close to folk music my stuff sits. I think honestly it sits somewhere between folk and pop, because I have not for this album done any electronic sounds. This album doesn't have anything produced with completely with sounds I've created electronically on the computer. This is all instrument. There's some synthesizer, but that is an instrument. I have used a synthesizer, but it's the odd touch of a different sound here and there. It's not the main instruments are piano and guitar. So about to start, and I thought what I would do for this last song is invite you in, let you see some of the process, which you might find incredibly boring. But I was struggling to sleep last night, as has been happening a lot during this lockdown. My daughter had to be tested yesterday. She has a very sore throat and may have contracted coronavirus because she's had fevers and so hopefully she doesn't. We shall see. It's an interesting time we're living through. And interestingly enough, this is a song about her. It's called She Writes the Sky. My daughter is an artist. She is a phenomenal painter. The things she produced as a little kid, very young. Yeah, beautiful. She does beautiful work. She's too hard on herself, but she does beautiful work. Anyway, let's see how I go with recording this song. It's going to be a few sections, so I'm going to go through first and just sing and play and try and get a good track. I won't have you listen to like track after track after track. I'll probably just do one or two. Probably just one. I'll pick one for you to hear. And then I'm going to basically do a sort of a jazz scat line, which I sort of a posh version of beatboxing. Posh isn't the right word. A different type of way of underlining, giving some more texture to the sound. So anyway, let's see how that all pans out. I thought it might be interesting to videotape the journey of taking a song from the page through the old creative brain and see what comes out. Thanks for listening to me rabble on. Rabble on? I'm doing well with the words today. Okay. Mwah.